morning. My name is Michelle Bell, and I am super excited to be here tonight in your living room to share some music with you at our 9th annual Wilson Orchestra Fall Concert. For these unprecedented times, we've created an unprecedented concert experience for you. I hope your entire family is gathered around your television set and that your child is standing in front of you with their instrument and music stand and music ready to perform. If they aren't, go ahead and pause this video until they are ready. Please be sure that your cell phones are silenced and your family has about 20 minutes of free and uninterrupted time for this performance. This is a big event and a big night for them, so please help us create the most concert-like atmosphere we can and give them the attention that they deserve. We have made a huge push on social media to get the word out in our community about all the great things going on in the Wilson Orchestra program. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, please make sure you follow us there. And if you're going to share pictures of your child from tonight's concert, please make sure you tag us and include the hashtag Orchestra Kids are the best kids, because they truly are. We cannot tell you how impressed we are with the adaptability and grit in our beginners. The way they have just rolled with the changes and have really gone past just surviving the start of this crazy year into thriving, both in person and remote learners. We have enjoyed getting to know each of them and their personalities. This evening, we are going to rewind the clock and go back in time to demonstrate for you what they have learned so far. Learning to play an instrument can be very complicated, so to make it easier, we go through each step of the process in a very methodical way, because each step builds on the steps before it. We have a drill sergeant style chant that we use to reinforce all the different pieces of the perfect posture puzzle. Chair, feet, back, shoulders, instrument, ready. Look, Mom.
We also have a little song to help them remember the names of their 4 strings.
Each and every ant, digging in the dirt, all the way to grease, just because they can. Next, they learned about rhythm and how to read the music on a staff, which is very similar to learning a new language. They practiced plucking an open string together and in time with a good foot tap, being sure to look at their music, all the while keeping their perfect posture.
Open D string, Pizz-n-Pluck.
Once they learned the fundamentals of how to read music, they could read different combinations of open strings on their instruments.
Crossing D to A.
Once they had mastery of their open strings, the next step is to put their left hand fingers down. This expands the range of notes that they can play. It is very important for them to put their fingers right on the squares and to have a straight wrist.
Down.
Next, we needed to increase our D string fluency by practicing different combinations of D string notes.
Boil them cabbage down.
Once we were fluent on the D string, we repeated the same process on the A string.
Up and down the ladder.
Now they knew enough notes to play a scale. The basses learned how to shift, which means their left hands move up and down on the fingerboard.
Going down the D scale.
By the end of the first grading period, they had gotten so good, they knew enough to play a little Mozart.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Then we worked to increase our fluency on both strings. True fluency means that students have the ability to look at a series of 12 to 48 notes in a row, to know the name of each of those notes, to know which finger is required to play each of those notes, and on which string those fingers belong, all the while maintaining a steady pulse and perfect posture. This is a lot to manage all at once. We also started learning about grit around this time, having perseverance for long-term goals, and discovering that learning to play an instrument does not happen overnight.
Dayenu. Anna's dance.
We teach the right and left hands separately in the very beginning. Since their left hands were in such great shape, it was time, finally, to move on to the bow in their right hands. Bow day is a big day in the orchestra room, and getting our bow hold perfect is our main focus at first. We worked hard to make sure that our bows were straight as well, and we went back to our open D strings.
Bow the D string.
Bowing is tricky business because the bow has to be straight with the appropriate amount of pressure and speed, all the while maintaining a correct bow hold. Oh, and don't forget the posture. We work on all of this and changing our string levels on this line.
Changing levels.
After we had a solid sound on our instruments on open strings, it was time to add the left hand back into the equation. Now they have two hands doing two completely different things at exactly the same time. It is no joke about playing an instrument making you smarter, and this is one of the reasons why. These kids might make playing look easy, but there's a whole lot happening in front of you. As we play our last number for you, we hope you can see the progress these young musicians have made in such a short time. It really is incredible what they can learn to do when you have the facilities, instructional time, and support that we enjoy here at Wilson and in Northwest ISD. The future is bright for the Wilson Orchestra.
Mary had a little lamb.